Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Play On Podcast. This is episode 74. It's Jerry and Jesse. Uh, it's the start of the season. A couple of the leagues have started up, three of the major ones, and you know, we're happy to see football back.
Yeah, Jesse. And to kick it off right away, Liverpool made a very interesting match, dude. I didn't expect them to be up 2 goals, then get tied on almost immediately after in the second half. But that was a very good match, but it does bring up problems about Liverpool and their defense.
Yeah, and I think we mentioned previously of we want to see center back uh not replacements, but like, well, you could say some as a replacement for them because they had a horrible showing. But yeah, to come off the bench because they really don't have anyone that could come in and play that. Like they maybe Robertson, but that I don't think that's what you want for throughout the season. I know they did buy the Parma young center back Leone,
hmm
but that's an 18-year-old, and I just don't want to trust an 18-year-old to carry the hopes of a title season.
Now I have a question, Jesse. I think their defense, well, their midfielder specifically, I think that there's also issues with their defense.
hmm
But my issue is like, why didn't Gravenberch start, Jesse?
I think that he's having trouble with injury because he hasn't been showcased in like the past couple of games that they showed.
hmm
Because even what was it, the game before this? Uh, Szoboszlai has basically started the past couple games, and
Yeah,
then this week against Bournemouth or this game, it was McAllister alongside him,
yeah,
and then before that it was Curtis Jones, if you remember. So.
yeah. And I'm
I,
seeing, and he wasn't even on the bench either.
So I think he might have a knock that's just not being reported because last year he was what was it, like the I want to say player of the season for them because he was
hmm
so instrumental in that midfielder playing as a CDM. So I know they've switched formations this time and they're basically playing with the double pivot, and they want McAllister and Szoboszlai there because to make up ground
hmm
because it's more focused this formation with the Florian Wirtz there. But even so, Gravenberch is like should be number one on that list, next to I think McAllister.
Yeah.
But
I,
yeah,
I just figured I just looked it up too. The reason he's out is because on the last game of the season for last season, he got he was sent off in the final game of the 24-25 season against Crystal Palace after receiving a red card on a foul of Kamada. So that was the FA Cup game, I believe,
I think maybe.
because Crystal Palace won it, right? The FA Cup.
Yep.
Yeah. And they faced each other again, and Liverpool won again. So it's pretty interesting. So yeah, he should be making his debut on August 25th. But like you said, he hasn't been featured in the previous preseason game. So we'll see what they do. But yeah, I think he would probably solve some of the defensive issues. Mainly it's in transition. He's like an octopus dude. He grabs everything. But I did want to give a shout out to the Bournemouth player, Semenyo, scored two banger goals. And one of them he left Konate straight up crawling, which was funny to me. But yeah, Bournemouth just seems to be finding these players that are like top notch. Well, he's been in Bournemouth for since 23, but you know, it's very impressive to have this consistency of like scouting. So if any team wants to poach a player from Bournemouth, why don't they just poach their scouting team?
Well, yeah, it's crazy because it's very impressive considering like how many players have left this summer for Bournemouth because they just got picked apart. Like almost their whole back line, like their two starting center backs and their left back. Like Kirk he made the jump to Liverpool,
hmm
and then I think who someone else, I think a left winger left as well.
Your boy too, who just went to your team.
Yeah, Housen, and then yeah, so they're like a lot of players have left. And then it looks like they're picking right back up because they signed some players to replace them, but it looks like they're ready to run it again.
No. And I'm just gonna share this picture just so if you guys haven't seen it. Uh, this one right, on the right side right here. Like Oh my God. Look, where's Konate looking at, bro? He just had him completely turned. Can you see my
Yeah.
screen?
Yeah.
So to me, that's hilarious. And yeah, Konate is like discussing and flirting with the big moves to one of the big two, the Barcelona, Real Madrid. So that doesn't look good on you, you know?
Yeah, well, I don't know what's the obsession with him is. I know we both have problems with him.
Mhm.
I feel like there's just better options out there, especially I think for similar price points, and especially his wage. So,
And I think a lot of his like errors are being covered up by Van Dijk, probably one of the best center backs of all time. You could put him up there, you know? So Van Dijk covers a lot of his mistakes, and you could again attribute to him Konate being a great player because Van Dijk again covers so much. It's like Rio Ferdinand and what's his name? Oh my God, Vidic.
yeah.
Like Ferdinand is considered an all-time great, but in reality, it was Vidic who was holding that back line.
Yeah, it was crazy that people forget that he was like a two-time player of the year at
Hmm.
center back during that time. Like he was a wall back there, and then people would just rate highly Rio Ferdinand when I'm like, yeah, he wasn't even the best center back there. He was just there.
And there's questions about Wirtz already, and we kind of called this. We think he's gonna have a rough start. It's probably gonna take a season to get him used to playing in the Premier League, getting into Liverpool. So yeah, some fans are already really questioning his price tag. Again, I think it'll get solved next season when Salah probably gets pushed out. But Atakita has been astonishing, really, really good. Provided a goal, provided an assist, Jesse. Um, he's going above and beyond what I expected him to do.
Yeah, he's a really great player. I'm not surprised considering who he modeled his game after. He said he modeled his one of his role models was Benzema, so great strikers, follow after another. But yeah, I think he's really great. But the biggest worry for me is if they do land Isak, how that's going to affect his game. Because right now he has complete freedom in that striker role, and
Hmm.
it's really suiting him really well because he's able to move around, create space for other players and for himself. Because his ball control has been the biggest surprise for me. I know it was decent, but I didn't expect it to be this good, and it's creating a lot of chances for him. So. I'm worried that he's gonna lose that when Isak comes in and he like basically the space gets taken over and he doesn't get that much freedom.
Yeah, in my opinion, I don't think right now Isak would fit in this team because you would have to push someone out, and I think the odd man out is Gakpo. Atakita is pretty much Alexander Isak. They're the similar players, very tall, lanky, great on the ball, great strike. They're the same player. So
And one's
why,
younger and
yeah.
cheaper.
And so why go out there and try to buy him? Like you don't, it's clearly not a need. What they do need is a backup center back, like we said, but I don't know. At this point, I think Etequita would be enough. Maybe buy a backup striker, but are you really going to spend 150 million on Isak as a backup striker? No. Go get Alexander Sorloth. I'm pretty sure Atletico Madrid was selling for like 40, 50, and he's a pretty good backup striker. He scores hat tricks all the time. Like look at last season. He had arguably one of the worst seasons for him, but still managed to get 20 goals with a
Yeah.
couple of hat tricks in there.
And
So,
even in the backup, they still have Chiesa who scored a goal for this game. So like it's not like they're lacking attacking options.
mhm.
I'd say the most pressing concern for me for Liverpool besides the defense was that Salah was again invisible for majority of the game until like the last minute where he got that goal and like people forget the performance before that. But
Mhm.
it wasn't great again because we've been seeing it for like two straight performances that he he looks lost in the system and doesn't look like he's able to do what he wants, or I don't know if it's age or if it's just like him adjusting to like this new role that he has on the team.
Yeah, and it kind of sucks. Again, I wasn't a huge proponent of Salah getting paid so much. Because again, he's gonna think he's the main man. He wants the ball. And obviously you're gonna want that. You're the highest paid player. But at this point, like if you're Salah, looking at it, you're not gonna be the main guy. You're at the end of your career. Try supporting the other players because sometimes he was getting frustrated with at the Kita. Like I know there was a header. He took a shot away from Salah because Atakita went for a header. But at that point, like you can't do that, dude. It's gonna kill the confidence. The player's gonna question whether to shoot or pass to Salah, and that's probably gonna ruin the team. Because I've seen it happen with Messi. Um, because watching Messi for so long. there's players that are like, oh, let me take a shot. Messi got mad at him, and then he goes again. Instead of taking the shot, the player wants to pass and look for Messi, but at that time, like, you can't look for Messi. Messi was covered by three guys. So
Yeah.
again, I'm not saying I love Messi. There's no doubt about that, but it can be a bad thing on some occasions because again, it kills your confidence. You're gonna see what it does to those players, and they're gonna question themselves multiple times. Oof, but great match again. Liverpool brought it pretty, made it really interesting when they shouldn't have.
Yeah. And then sticking with the Premier League, we saw Spurs come back from their meltdown against PSG in the Super Cup to get a 3-0 win against Burnley. If I'm correct, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. I don't know what happens in the Super Cup, Jesse, honestly. I was telling my brother that it looked like Spurs were kind of, I don't know if gassed is the word, because clearly they had a preseason. PSG hasn't had a preseason. That was the first game since the Club World Cup. But it looked like Spurs didn't really want it. Because if you see in the last goal, like that back line should have been back and attacking the ball and try to clear it. Only two players, the guy that scored was marked, and the other Spurs players were not even running back. So I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's just a mentality issue because I felt like they were expecting it to be like Man U. Because I think the in the Europa League final they like dropped it all back. They had like multiple center backs, multiple defensive substitutions in there, and they were just holding it back and then praying that, it happened again where uh a team just couldn't score a goal and they like could relax a bit.
Yeah.
But there's a big difference between Man U and PSG, and we all know this. Like the quality that PSG has, especially coming off the bench, where they could come in fresh. Like Man U didn't have that during the Europa League final where they could bring in quality off the bench that could make a difference. And PSG does. They have that in droves, and especially like Lee Kang-in, who is so underrated that people forget about him. He came in and just like made an instant impact. But I also want to say it was I want to say that PSG's like deficit was more self-harm than anything because I
Mhm.
think I texted you as soon as I saw that lineup. The lineup was atrocious. It gave Spurs a chance to be in the game because it was like you said it like four attackers and two midfielders, and
Mhm.
those two midfielders were overran like the entire first half.
Mhm. But other than that, Spurs looks pretty good. Like even in the past in their first Premier League game, they were fantastic, and they had Richarlison playing a striker, and he got a double.
Yeah, he was playing out of his mind. He scored that goal, and I saw some Spurs fans complain. They're like, "Oh, we got to keep him another year now because of this."
Yeah. But yeah, this is what I wanted to point out. This is from the Europa League final, the second goal that Gonzalo Ramos scores. Look, he got a free header. No one's running back. I think this has been Bentancur. Look at that defender. He's just looking. They didn't want the win. They thought they had it in the bag and there was no danger. Like it was dumb. It's a very dumb mistake. But again, they're gonna learn. This is they just won their first trophy in a long time. But yeah, dude, Richarlison was even pissed when he got subbed off in the Premier League game, which was funny.
Yeah, but I think the most impressive thing for me was their midfield because it was a young. They started with a young midfield. It was Archie Gray, who looks like a really good young talent that they got last year from Leeds,
Hmm.
and then they also and Bergvall because like I know those two young players are like, I think the hottest prospects or the hottest like value that Spurs has in that squad left. Because I know Bergvall has been linked to like a couple big clubs are looking into him to like take him in a couple years or maybe next summer at the rate he's developing. And
Hmm.
similar with Archer Gray, except he's English, so he'll be too expensive for everyone.
But I was talking crap about Kudus last episode, saying that Savinho's a better player, and Kudus just puts on a great performance. He got two assists. But yeah, he looks to be settling into that squad, and it's cool to see. To see him thrive, and then Johnson, he's just continuing his run from last season. got criticized and just kept scoring goal after goal, and he starts off instantly the first season with a goal. So cool to see. Again, it answers a lot of questions that we did have about Spurs. We thought they made a huge mistake by letting Postecoglou go. But clearly, Thomas Frank has been doing good so far. Again, beginning of the season, so we don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I think he's adopted as like a because the last couple of years has allowed Spurs to become more like offensively, there was never any complaints because they're like very creative, very forward, very direct, and it
Hmm.
was really good to see. They were just lacking in stability in defense, and I
Hmm.
think he's helped bringing that in, like help bring it in, but still allowing them to go crazy in offense. So if you could get like a right balance of that, I think it could be like a really good season for Spurs and surprise a lot of people, especially the Thomas Frank doubters, which I was one of.
Yeah, definitely. Oof. Just glad low key that this is back, bro.
Yep.
Got tired of watching preseason.
And then we have Chelsea again with the mixed results.
Yeah. The Club World Cup winner, we thought they were gonna have more things to their name and con just easily blow out. Who did they face again?
Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace. Again, Crystal Palace is no joke, but Chelsea did have a lot into that match. They had like a lot of chances to win. I think even at the end, Estevao had a chance to win it, but he overshot it over the bar. Um, I don't know, Jesse. I don't know what to say about Chelsea. I think it's the same story we had last season at this point.
Yeah, I just think
See, it's a weird thing to talk about. Like you're gonna talk bad, like we're gonna criticize them, talk bad about them. Then next week they're gonna score like 7 goals.
yeah, it's the thing with Chelsea. Like they have the between like the top teams, they have the biggest disparity between their floor and their ceiling.
Hmm.
Like most teams, their ceiling and their floor are closer to like close enough where even if they have like a low performance, it's so good enough to beat like the lower level teams and like make it through games. But with Chelsea, it's like it's not enough. Like they're the biggest range, and I think that's the biggest problem that they have. If they can bring that up and or just consistently play at their ceiling, I think they have one of the higher ceilings in the Premier League, but it's just getting that consistency down.
Yeah. And I'm trying to find the Club World Cup game versus PSG because I feel like they switched their lineup a bit. Because they had yeah, they did. So here, let me share my screen. So here's the Club World Cup game, right? They had
Hmm.
Neto on the left, Palmer on the right, Enzo as a 10, and then again Reece James in the middle. But yeah, look at that, right?
Hmm.
They completely switched it. They try to add Gittins in because I guess he's been having great trainings or something. But Palmer back to his normal position and then Neto on the right. Why are you changing something that worked, you know? That's what I don't understand. Like clearly this was good enough to beat PSG, the most informed team in the world, to change this against the Crystal Palace. Again, they had a great season. They started off with a bang against in the Community Shield against Liverpool. But why are you switching it up, you know?
But I think they did it because it was two different teams. Because with like PSG, they knew they were going to be more on defensive and going on the contract, so they wanted to set it up for that.
Hmm.
And with the Crystal Palace, they realized that they're going to have more possession. That's why they brought in another attacker because they brought in Giddens. Because if not, Fernandez was going to be in the middle. But instead, they put a Cole Palmer there so they could, have more space and be more attacking. And it moved Fernandez back a line because they're going to have more possession, and so you could connect it with the defense to offense, but it didn't work out that way the way they
Hmm.
thought it was going to be.
Yeah. I don't know. For me, I think they should have just stayed the same until it doesn't work, like you said. But like it makes sense what you just said. I think it paints a clear picture. Clearly, I didn't think of that. Um, they don't need Enzo as a cam, but I don't know. I think that was the best Chelsea we've ever seen play,
Hmm.
and just switching it up is not great, especially with Gittins. Incredible talent, but you're gonna kill his confidence if you're doing this. I think again, some players they start off very slow and need time to develop their confidence, get used to the league and everything like that. And some players are just plug and play. So I don't know. With this one, I think Maresca got it wrong, and he should just go back to his old lineup. We'll see what he does this for his next game. Who are they facing? I bet you it's not going to be an easy team.
West Ham.
West Ham, yep, and West Ham away as well.
Well, West Ham got destroyed by Sunderland, who was a promoted side. So West Ham's not in the best form.
Did you see that West Mexico collectively and Twitter are supporting Sunderland as their club for the Premier League?
For really? No, I haven't. Why?
It was a thing that it was like a Twitter movement saying like, "Hey, as us Mexicans, we should all show our support to one club in England this season." And some reason they picked Sunderland, and Sunderland won. So as of now, Jesse, I am a Sunderland fan for this season, just to ride the wave, you know.
Wasn't there that Sunderland Till I Die, that Netflix show?
I think
Maybe
that's why.
they just watched it and they're like, all right, this is my team.
But they to be West Ham is pretty interesting. But yeah, you have players like Paqueta. I think well,
Yeah, he beat the Chargers and he's still there.
yeah, and our boy
Edson
where
Alvarez did not get in. He stayed on the bench. He didn't get subbed in.
yeah, he's potentially being sold, I think, to Turkish club right now. So even more oomph to that win, you know.
Yep.
But interesting. But yeah, Chelsea question mark. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yep. And then uh we had Man City blowing out Wolves 4-0.
Yeah, Haaland scored a double, right?
Yeah, he scored two, and then Reiner scored another, and then Cherki put the cherry on top.
Man, I like what Guardiola's doing with Cherki because I think Cherki has gotten a couple preseason starts and they haven't been that great. He's giving him time, letting him come off the bench as again I've been preaching, and he's doing good. Again, scoring instantly is just gonna get you more comfortable into the squad. But Jesse, what was standing out for you, Man City?
Reiner's. He controlled that midfield. Like I said previously, I really wanted him at Real Madrid. They bought him for like 40 million, which is so cheap considering like all these other prices are going around. Like Man U's over here linked to the Brighton midfielder for 100 something million when they could have gotten Reijnders for 40, and he's just gonna be one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. It's crazy because he was bossing that midfield and defense, and carrying the ball forward. He was such a threat that he was creating so many chances.
I think he created one of the goals like by like taking out two players and doing like a croqueta real quick and I think pinging it over the top. I forgot for who. I can't see. Uh, forgot who
I,
it was. I think one of the Haaland goals and pinged it over to the top for Oscar Bob. Oscar Bob sweated it. But yeah, Reinders is incredible. And who I'm very surprised to see in the starting lineup was Nico Gonzalez. We thought he was gonna be sold.
yeah, I think they're having trouble with Rodri. He has a muscle injury, so I think they're keeping him for insurance, and he showed his quality again because he had a good performance. I think it's just, him and Guardiola did not see eye to eye because I don't know, Guardiola's on one right now, but he was a good player. I just think he needed his chance, and he showed that he can be an addable replacement for Rodri, who is getting up there in age and is showing to have some recent injury trouble.
Yeah, definitely. So it's cool to see. But who I really like seeing is Oscar Bob being back.
Yep.
He's just incredible and technical on the ball. He was obviously the best winger. Doku had to get subbed off. But yeah, what he does on the ball, there's a clip on Twitter going around of how he was going to the end line of whatever the opposing keeper, drags it back, then tries to attack again and take on two more players, which he does, and then he ends up getting the cross. Like he's such a good player. It's sad to see that he had an ACL injury last season, but I'm sure he's gonna redeem himself this season.
Well, he's what people think Foden is.
Yeah.
He's actually good.
I think Foden's good, but like Oscar Bob, I think he's a better player.
Yeah.
And then
I
for Trafford is starting for Man City.
yeah, they well, that's what the big like rumblings were about who was going to be the number one. They thought James Trafford was maybe going to come in and be the substitute, especially because Ederson wasn't sold yet. But it looks like James Trafford's just going to be the number one, especially what he showed last year, I think at Burnley.
Mhm.
So he's young, he's English, so he fits with the squad. He was a former academy product from Man City, and I guess Ederson's just waiting to get sold. Because if I was him, I need game time because, like I said, World Cup time.
Yeah, but also like we'll see how long Trafford stays for because that Man City's being linked to Donnarumma heavily. I know they agreed on personal terms. It's just the club's trying to figure things out. It sucks for Trafford. Again, he played a great game. 8.6 rating is not easy for a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
But I really like Nuri. Bernardo Silva, he's doing his thing. He's not doing too much. John Stones, I'm still surprised he's there.
Yeah, I think the most overrated left back that they or not left back center back that they have. I think there's better options, but he's still gets rated highly apparently.
Yeah, and Akanji he was left on the bench. The same thing with Ake, so those two pretty much lost their job with Rico Lewis again playing right back when he was attacking midfielder when he first started playing. But yeah, it
Yeah.
looks like Guardiola went back to his traditional actual fullbacks.
Yeah. But he did sub in Mateo Nunez to play right back. So, he still has that in him.
Yeah, wouldn't put it past him. Then Marmoush got subbed in. Cherki again, our boy, went crazy. And Kuzanov again. Kuzanov was ahead of Akanji and Ake, so it's very interesting, concerning for those two other players. But Kuzanov, we thought he was on the out, but clearly he's still in the squad.
And then, what's also crazy that Eintracht Frankfurt has looks like they've produced two good strikers back to back. So I think people might be looking at them again for another striker because they replaced Marmoush with the Etiquette, and then Etiquette is gone now. So who are they going to replace him with? And they both look like they're hitting the Premier League ground running.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a breeding ground for Premier League players.
And then I think our last Premier League game that we wanted to talk about is Arsenal versus Man U.
This is what I hate about these games. Again, we've mentioned it. I hate beating a dead horse. Um, these games on paper sound interesting, very high scoring, very intense. No, it was a 1-0 win by Arsenal.
Yeah, and even then that goal was it wasn't the most exciting by any means.
No, it was back to their regular tactics of corner cheeses, which again, you expect Arsenal, they're trying to, what is it, three second places in a row for
Yeah.
3 years?
Yeah, but back to back years and back.
Like you would expect more from a squad that's trying to compete for the Premier League to try to beat a Man U side. Well, again, they're trying to come up, but I don't know. It's the same Arsenal I've been seeing for the past 3 years. I don't see them going or even winning the Premier League with these tactics. Man U, I think they definitely showed more resistance and more improvement compared to last season.
Yeah, I wanted to say I feel like Arsenal have regressed to a point where they're Arteta was supposed to be known for like this freestyle playing football where very attacking style, very Pep Guardiola-esque, and it's gone down to he's completely defensive, relying on set pieces to be their goal contribution because offensively they just look dead in the water, nothing to like, no eye candy, no nothing like nothing of interest, and they're just relying on their defense to carry them because even throughout the game, I think Manu had more possession and more shots on target. They were just unlucky like any other day. I think they get like a goal or two
Hmm.
because Mbeumo and Cunha especially like they were just making runs through that midfield and they were getting a lot of chances. They just couldn't finish it off.
Yeah, I think they'll have better luck when Shesko actually gets settled into the first team. What is it? The first team 11, the 11. Because clearly they needed that kind of striker that to be the reference point, to be the goalpost, move the ball around and everything, and attract two center backs. With that and Bemu, I think he's gonna explode.
Yeah, I think what we saw was the team drastically improved when they had a preseason with Amorim and he was able to, translate his ideas to the squad because they just Like they just got brought in the forwards, like the forward line to improvement.
hmm But
So
before people even start judging us and like apparently switching up on Mbemu, we've always said he was a great player, not for that price though.
yeah, not for
But
that price, and especially not to play striker.
yeah, especially not to play striker. That's what we're criticizing so much. But with Chesko there, I think Mbembu's gonna. I think he's probably gonna get 15 goals this season. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, and even Cunha too, because you saw how he was just carving up that midfielder, just like making those dribbling runs where he would outrun them and like face the defense. I think with that, having Sesko just be that focal point, he could give it to him or Mbeumo who would be making a cut in
hmm
and or just use him as a distraction and go for the goal. Like there's a lot of options, and then there's still Bruno Fernandes there who,
It's a bunch of space to shoot in the midfield.
yeah, like we said, we just they need a midfield option that could, cover ground and be able to like a box midfielder because there is a lot of forward-thinking players there.
Yeah, definitely. But again, I like what I saw from Man U. I didn't think I'd say that this season, but yeah, they're playing great. Again, came up short against an Arsenal squad, but then again, when how are you gonna score a lot of goals when they're like defending with 9 players? Again, this team is claiming to be one of the best in the world, but I could put all my players in goal and you would never score.
Yeah, there's a lot of people complaining about Gyökeres, but like it's not his fault.
Yeah, you got to give him time. Like,
And also you gotta feed him the ball sometimes and give him like create situations for him to score goals, not just leave him dead in the water and like go do something, create magic. Like that's
because
not what he does.
we've seen it, because Gyökeres has a similar profile to Haaland, and we've seen Haaland when he has to dribble up against 4 or 5 players. It's not pretty, and it's not going to be possible for him. He might do it once every blue moon, but to consistently do it, like, no, you're not going to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, give him time. Maybe a better winger than Martinelli. Uh,
Even
s-
even Saka wasn't that great either, like, feeding him.
mm-mm. So yeah, give that guy grace. I think Gyökeres is a great signing, but th that game was not it, and clearly they're not playing for him.
Hmm. And then any other news in the Premier League, Jerry?
Oh yeah, there was this racist incident, which is insane, and to come and happen, especially do it in camera, get caught in camera. The Liverpool versus Bournemouth game, Semenyo, who we just talked so highly about, he was taking in a quick throw in, and a English fan from Liverpool, we don't know if he's English, but whatever, a Liverpool fan that was in a wheelchair rolls up to Semenyo and starts screaming and shouting racist remarks to him. Like, how is that happening?
It's crazy. And then yeah, it's crazy that that's happening even now then because before the game they're like doing a whole tribute to Diego Jota and then it's in the first half there's a guy that's just like, you know what, I'm gonna be racist to Semenyo right now.
Yeah, I don't understand it, you know? Like, clearly you're gonna get caught. You're in that what is it, wheelchair accessible aisle. You're in the front row. You're pretty much on the pitch. You're not gonna get away with it.
Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking.
So I'm pretty sure like a bunch of other Liverpool fans were not as happy to what happened, because yeah, that's inexcusable. Like, they literally have no say no to racism patches everywhere. Like, it's just stupid at this point. It's 2025. Get over it, dude. Like, your team's losing. He scored 2 goals against you. You want to be racist? Like, fuck you.
No, no, this happened before they were up 2-0, I think.
hmm
Because in the first half, and then that happened, and then Semenyo scored 2 goals. So those goals mean even more because
Yeah.
after the incident, he's like, you know what, uh, fuck this guy. I'm gonna show him, and then get 2 goals.
Yeah. So I'm glad he scored those 2 goals, showed it to his face, but like, I mean, not to his face because I think he got kicked out, but hopefully he's banned forever. Just, it's a stupid thing to do. Like, what?
Yeah,
All right, I think we could cut it here.
yeah.
All right, let me stop it and then go. All right, with La Liga already underway, Jesse, Atletico Madrid's already making us look bad by dropping points against the Espanyol team. This is their first loss in a debut game since 2009, and they were up. against Espanyol.
Yeah, it's a tough situation because it looks like they're in between like theologies or theories or whatever because they look like they're trying to go more offensive with like the signings they're getting like Baena and who was their left winger? I forget for the game. Uh
I gotta tell you, all I know is that Griezmann came in off the bench.
yeah, Almada, Diego Almada. Like
Hmm.
they're going like offense heavy to like try and prove that to be able to compete with like Barca and Real Madrid. But it looks like they lost their identity of being able to defend because like defensively they used to be a rock and would never give up like this type of lead. Like 1-0, you'd be like, oh, they're gonna lock it down, especially against like Espanyol. But no, they crumbled, gave up a 1-0 lead, and then they just never recovered.
And that's what it's interesting to me because we both know that Simeone is a straight up defensive coach. We know his low block. We know his grab the ball, counterattack quickly. I don't know why he's trying to prove that he can play offensively, which I appreciate, like
Hmm.
there's no knocking that. I like that you're playing attacking football, but if your identity is defending, why don't you stick with it? Because you clearly took off a prime Real Madrid that's prime Real Madrid from Champions League, took away La Liga trophies from them, took away prime Barcelona trophies from them. Why are you switching it? That's what like I don't understand. Like your theology is defending. What's going on?
Yeah, I don't know if he thinks he's like hit the ceiling with that and is trying to innovate to be able to play with them, or he's just like, oh, that was just for like the first phase and this is like a second phase where he thinks like he could be able to play good football with them. But even as a player, he was never like that. He was like more of a like sturdy defensive player, and as a coach, it's like a similar philosophy. So I don't know why he's trying to switch. Maybe he's trying to accommodate for Julian Alvarez because you know there's a lot of rumors linking him to leave.
Mhm.
But even when they like we've seen it throughout the years when their best striker, best forward leaves, they usually just find the next one and they carry on. I don't know why they're trying to hold on so much to Julian Alvarez. Like I understand it'd be a big loss,
Mhm.
but they usually just like find the next one and carry on.
Because don't get me wrong, there's glimpses of them playing fantastic football like during the match, and they were just playing one touch, two, 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 and they got through like the whole defense, and then Julian Alvarez got a chance to shoot. He shot, but sadly he hit the post. Like there's glimpses of that, but if you're not effective when it comes to that, it's gonna bite you in the rear end, and it showed. I think Espanyol ended up coming back and scoring 2 goals. And again, the Atletico Madrid goal came from a free kick from Julian Alvarez. So open play goals are gonna be, I guess, a struggle for them if they're not putting away their chances.
But even then, from what we've seen from like Athletic Madrid in the past is that they hold on a strong core and they keep it and they're like they don't switch a lot. They don't like a lot of departures, a lot of incoming. And this summer was like, as you've pointed out, like it was a big change. Like it was like 12 signings. Even the starting lineup, there was a lot of changes in it. Like how much like Baena, Almada, Cardoso, Ruggeri, Hackno, like that's five new starting 11 players. And that's like a big difference from Athletic Madrid that we've seen in the past. Like they usually integrate players slow and like maybe one or two changes in the lineup at all, if any. And now there's five, that's half the starting lineup.
And yeah, and again, it could screw up chemistry, not know what to do. Because he made the subs maybe a little too late. He brought in Sorloth, he brought in Griezmann. Then he had too much to do. Again, when you bring in those players that are like, or did you say, especially Griezmann, being seasoned with that squad and knowing how they play and just turning around and seeing a whole different set of faces, you don't know where they're gonna go. You don't know how they're gonna overlap. You don't know their tendencies. It's tough. So I am very concerned for Atletico Madrid. This is something I pointed out. Again, too many signings can be a huge, huge like dagger to your own squad, and like it could hurt yourself like a lot. And clearly, it's showing. So it's interesting.
Yeah, I think they're just gonna have to wait until those players are died in Atletico Madrid.
Hmm.
Like and the philosophy because I feel like there was like you said, there's a change in like um thought or mentality of how to play the game because they were trying to do different things and they were like quite on the same page, so they weren't clicking. So maybe if they once eventually they get on the same page, maybe it'll be different. But that's what we said last year, and then they just switched it all up again this year.
Yeah. And I think the story for Atletico Madrid, again, this is why we both had them in third place. I think the story is going to be the same thing as last season. Straight up. Struggle for the first 3 games or 4 games, then go on a run for like unbeaten for like 5 games. Come up against Real Madrid or Barcelona, lose, and then go on a losing streak and then pick it up again.
Yeah,
So,
but that can be so annoying when we play them because they can go back to that crazy low block that they're just gonna hit our players and then try sneaking that goal.
but I don't even think they could do that anymore, Jesse. They don't really have the midfielders to do that. I'm like looking at it. Again, Atletico Madrid has been known for that like rugged and like years like, all right, let me kick you 6 times before I even get a yellow. They used to be that kind of team. Now, like I don't really see it. Like Johnny Cardoso, I don't see him being as like a Luis Suarez, a Koke, I think even. And Koke wasn't even one of the worst ones. An Arda Turan, like
Raúl García,
Raul Garcia, like they're not those rugged players that intimidate you. Like if these guys kick me, I'm like, oh, it was an accident. Again, and like when they do come up against Real Madrid or Barcelona and try to play like that, they those players are gonna see it like that. Like, no, I went against the worst Atletico Madrid side like 2 years ago where they would just kick you all the time. Like, I
yeah,
don't care if you kick me.
yeah, they're like, oh, they're actually trying to play football. This is easier than them
Hmm.
because we know how to play football better than them, and we're gonna
Hmm.
take it. We're gonna beat them. So yeah, I see where that point comes from, and I think that's the biggest worry for Athletic Madrid.
Yeah, but either way, like I think the second goal that Espanyol scored to win it was insane, dude. I don't know if you've seen the header. Like it was a cross, like pretty back. He had to run back and like turn his head. I'll find the clip right now and I'll play it. Hopefully, no copyright strike.
Yeah.
But it was incredible. But again, Atletico Madrid just rocky start. Like, dude, what's going on?
Yep.
And then there's my boys at Barcelona facing a Mallorca away. Mallorca got 2 red cards, Jesse.
Yeah.
Uh,
Were they both in the first half, or was it
yeah, both in the first half.
right?
And I don't know, dude. What do you think about the because there's controversy around uh Barcelona's second goal, the Ferran Torres goal. What do you think of that when the player was on the ground because of head injury?
As this podcast is clearly named Play On, I think there's been a lot of players trying to take advantage of the new rules with head injuries where they immediately will go down as soon as anything happens and they're like, oh, to get medical attention, things like that, and they'll just wave them off. I feel like it's crossed the line where it's being overused. Like I understand the seriousness of head injuries, but when players try to take advantage of it, it loses the effectiveness because people are like, oh, he it's just like he's diving again. Like, oh, he's just, he's making use of it to cut the play of a dangerous play so that he could, reset. And I feel like it's being overused in today's game now.
Yeah, and that was my concern because like again the it wasn't Barcelona's fault. The ref never whistled. Keep playing until the whistle, and that's what Ferran Torres did. They scored a goal. They counted it. Is there controversy? Sure. Like, should the ref have stopped it? Would I have gotten mad? Any other Barcelona fan would have gotten mad? Probably not, but it's the ref's decision. I think even players were looking at him. He wasn't blowing it, so play on. Like, again, name of the podcast. They didn't do that. It bit you in the ass. Now you're mad about it?
Yeah. Yeah, like I see both sides where like any fan base would be upset, like, oh, that's a clear excuse as to why the goal shouldn't count. Because if I was on my side, I'd be like, yeah, dude, the guy's down, just cut the play. But then again, that's not on the player's fault because the players should play until the whistle is blown. I think that's just a referee, like, again, we go with refereeing, like, call the play dead, and then there's no controversy because any normal person would be like, well, yeah, it's a head injury, like, we'll just check it. But I also feel like it's being overused by the players to cut plays, and like at a certain point, like you will get annoyed because like oh, it's just another thing that people are trying to exploit, and people will have to realize how to navigate that.
Plus, that protocol for the head injuries is for clash of heads, by the way. That specific protocol is for that. So,
Because we saw that, and also in like the Super Cup, I think it was Romero or who was it? I remember it was like a free kick or a shot that a player blocked with their head and then it immediately went down, so like the referee would like cut off the play and like stop momentum.
Hmm.
So it's like it's been happening, and you know, I just good old days when players would play.
Yeah, play it on. Play on. But yeah, real quick, let me show you the goal of no ones that haven't seen it. Again, if we get copyright strike, I am gonna be livid because this is a 10-second clip. And he crosses the ball from here, boop, and just in the corner. That's insane.
Great goal, great headed goal.
Definitely. But yeah, dude, another thing is Lamine Yamal scored. He's been looking for that goal. He got it. Hansi Flick had some choice words about Barcelona, saying that there wasn't enough effort and there's certain players he has to talk to because they look like Barcelona was going 50% at most. Again, two players on the red card, you should be probably scoring 6 goals.
Hmm.
But yeah, the thing and everyone's talking about is Lamine Yamal. He had a clash with one of the Mallorca players. They were talking crap to each other, and then Lamine Yamal scores a goal 2 minutes later. So awesome to
Was
see.
was it the right back that was also picking fights with the Real Madrid, or is that a
Uh,
different one?
I think it was the left back. No, the right back is Pablo Maffeo.
Hmm.
I don't know if it was Morey or More. No, Morales got a red card. I think it was Morey.
Is Mafel in Mallorca, or is that a different team? Or am
No,
I
but yeah,
tweaking?
Maffeo was in Mallorca. I don't know if he's still there. Now I'm looking at the squad. It doesn't look like he's there.
Look at transfers.
But you know,
Hmm.
glad Barcelona started off in the right foot again. Then he had to go crazy, and Flick made a lot of changes. He had Fermin starting, then he subbed him off. Again, Fermin didn't have a great game, but what can you do, you know?
Yep.
And I can't see Maffeo anywhere.
He is in the squad. I think he just wasn't called up for the match day squad.
Oh, maybe. And and lastly, you had some Napoli news, Jesse.
Yeah, the Lukaku has recently come down with an injury that's gonna put him out for until October, so like a couple months. So now Napoli is out in the market looking for a striker to replace him. And I wonder who they'll get to replace him at this late in the stage, because like we said, a lot of the strikers that were on the market have gone, and there's not a lot left.
There isn't. Maybe Osimhen will come back if anything gets sold. Especially with the squad. Again, Napoli's putting up a squad and they could probably win the next two Scudettos.
Yeah,
Scudettos.
I saw them being linked to Samu, but that will prove very expensive, especially this
Fantastic
late in
player,
the
though.
market.
That's a fantastic player.
And I feel like it fits like a similar profile to Lukaku,
I was gonna say.
but who knows if it happens, because at this stage in the market and with the prices, people are asking for a lot.
Yeah, especially panic buyers, you know.
Yep.
But lastly, we are doing the immaculate grid. And no, I'm not gonna jump the gun this time. Yes, I'm gonna take my time because we are gonna get a 9 of 9. So Jesse, top columns we have Atletico Madrid Premier League player and played scored a Champions League goal. On the roads,
Sociedad.
yeah, on the roads we have Sociedad, Galatasaray, and Juventus. Jesse, I'll let you start this off.
Jerry.
What's up?
Jerry.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Think it lagged out a little bit.
Yeah. I'll let you start it off.
You just want to go Griezmann for Atletico Madrid, Real Sociedad?
Yes,
Keep
let's
it simple.
not watch there be another Antoine Griezmann.
Vela for Premier League.
Yes, it's a fantastic one. And a Champions League goal. Huh. This is the hard one. We probably should have seen Vela. Well, who else played in the Premier League, you know? But
Or champion.
it's tough because what I remember at the Real Sociedad in Champions League was with Vela and Griezmann.
Yeah. Dang.
I'm trying to think, was Oyarzabal?
Whenever I think of him, I think of Europa League.
Yeah. So we're gonna have to go back. And I'm trying to think of Sociedad. Maybe Iyarramendi. He was playing when they were in.
Yeah, but he wasn't maybe for the odd goal, but who knows?
You want to come back to this one?
Yeah.
For this one, Atletico Madrid Galatasaray was Falcao.
Falcao playing Galatasaray?
Yeah, didn't he? Before I press it, well, let's talk about this. I thought he did at one point because playing in FIFA, I think I used this card.
You want to go with Turan instead?
We can, yeah, that's the safe one.
Because I can't remember Falcao and Galatasaray.
Out of that Tura. Galatasaray in Premier League. Gomes, no? Oh, did he play?
Uh,
I know he was in
we could go with the Man U one, the Waycourt. Didn't he play for Galatasaray?
who?
He was a striker in Netherlands.
Or we could go with Ziyech. Oh, we could go Ziyech for Champions League goal. Drogba, no?
Yeah,
He played in Galatasaray, right?
I think so. I feel I can picture him in the Galatasaray jersey for some reason, but yeah, I think so.
Or do you want to go Ziyech here and then put Drogba as Champions League goal? Oh, well, it's Galatasaray. But yeah. All right, let's. Okay.
Okay.
Galatasaray,
Ziyech
Champions League goal.
he scored a goal?
I'm trying to think. Remember that when we did that fantasy football like in 2013, 2014? There was a striker they had. It was a Turkish striker. It was like the season where Ronaldo, I think it was a season where Ronaldo scored 15 Champions League goals or 14. I
That was
can't
that.
remember his name, so I can't think of it. But man, it's tough. Champions League goal Galatasaray.
Weren't they in Champions League last year?
I'm trying to think.
No, that was Europa.
I don't know.
Yeah, because they played
Yeah, they did.
Spurs.
They were in the group stage and everything. Ah, we can come back to that one if you want.
Atletico Madrid.
I think we
Juventus.
can go Ziyech because I don't. Does it have to be when they were in Galatasaray or does it have to
Oh
be
no,
like?
no, true.
So Ziyech definitely scored.
Let's go for it.
How the hell do you spell Ziyech?
Isn't it Y? Then Z? Another Z?
Can you look it up, Jesse?
Uh, hmm.
Ziyech, Chelsea player.
uh, Ziyezh. Hakim
Okay,
Ziyech.
there we go. Now, Juventus player and Atletico Madrid player. Oof. Not normal transfers, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Mandzukic.
Oh, for real. I was thinking
Mario
defenders.
Mario Mandzukic, right?
Yep. Juventus.
Juventus Premier League.
Thierry Henry.
Yep. Wait, we gotta check the year. This is 92. Does it say 92, 93? Yeah, 92, 93. Okay, great. Cool. Damn, 2%. That's pretty good. Juventus Champions League goal. You can pick anyone, Jesse. Let's pick
I'm
a
trying to think
safe one, but a obscure one out of those two words linked. But because the obvious one is Ronaldo, right?
Morata?
Has he played in Juventus? Has he scored a Champions League goal though? You
I think
sure?
so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure like 95% sure.
Okay, we got
Totally.
it. But
Totally.
now this is the last one.
That's
Played in
just like
Sociedad and has a Champions League goal.
this is a tough one.
Again, it doesn't have to be that they scored when they were in Sociedad. So think of players that have played in Sociedad but have also scored a goal in the Champions League. Has Zubimendi played Champions League? I don't think so. Alba? No.
Mikel Merino?
I think yeah, you solved it. I think we got our first 9 out of 9. Yep, we got it.
There we go.
The average score was 7. These are the most popular. Oh yeah, Zalba did. He scored a
Oh,
Champions League goal. That was
I guess a
last
couple years ago we just forgot about it.
Arda Turan. So let's see. We got We went with Drogba?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, so we're common. Oshiman. We
We're
got this one
caught.
really good, right?
Yeah, we were coming with like the Griezmann, Arda Turan, and Drogba.
So which is the hardest one? The Galatasaray, Atletico Madrid. See, Falcao played.
Oh, he was. I can't remember it.
Which is the next hardest? Diego Mendes, Morata, of
Oh,
course.
Diego. Yeah, Diego.
Oh, but yeah, try to find him,
Yeah.
All right, guys, we got another 9 out of 9, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, before we go, just a quick I just remembered remember the young kid I told you about for Real Madrid that was getting some preseason? He recently got a new contract for first team and he's been called up for the squad against tomorrow for Osasuna. So, it looks like he might be getting some playtime with Xabi Alonso. Thiago
Same.
Pikachu.
Maybe he gets some minutes towards the end of the game when they're already winning like 2-0, but it's again, this is unheard of, especially with Real Madrid. They really don't call up players, especially that young player, so I'll definitely be looking out.
Yep. I think that's it for this week's podcast. Anything else to say, Jerry?
Nope, go ahead and sign us out, bro.
All right. Please leave a comment, please like, please subscribe, and please share it with anyone you know. Peace.
Peace.